Hello children, welcome to the class. Today we'll do the third chapter, two stories about flying from the book First Flight. We'll do the second story, The Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth. The story oscillates between miracle and mystery. The main character is a pilot. He was on his flight from Paris to London. He was flying his old Dakota aeroplane. It was night, the sky was clear, the pilot had an easy flight. It was 1:30 in the morning, and he was very excited to have a grand holiday with his family. Before leaving, he thought of informing the Paris control about his presence and for instructions and guidelines. The control room responded and helped him to direct his plane. All this time, he was fantasizing about holidaying with his family, of having a good English breakfast with his adorable family. Soon he crossed Paris. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. But suddenly he saw huge storm clouds in front of him. They were so huge that they looked like black mountains. It would be dangerous to fly. He could not fly over them because he didn't have enough fuel. There he says, I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. I ought to go back to Paris. He could go back to Paris, but his eagerness to meet his family stopped him from taking this decision. There he says, I ought to go back to Paris, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. I'll take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. So he decided to take the risk and flew straight into the storm. Everything was black inside the clouds. Inside the cloud, everything was suddenly black. Nothing could be seen outside the aeroplane. He saw that the compass was dead. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. The radio was also dead. The radio was dead too. Even there was not much fuel in the tank. I was lost in the storm. So, when he was on the verge of giving up all hopes, he saw another aeroplane whose pilot was waving at him, asking him to follow him. There it is. I could see the pilot's face turn towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. He knows that I am lost. I thought he is trying to help him. So the narrator followed him like an obedient child. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. Half an hour passed, and the strange aeroplane was still ahead of him, guiding him through the storm. Now he begins to worry. And the reason? That the fuel tank was almost empty. There says there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. Suddenly, he came out of the clouds and saw lights of the runway in front of him and felt happy and lucky to be rescued. When he turned back to look for the pilot who helped him, he could not see anybody. There the lines. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see anywhere. I could not see it anywhere. So he decided to go to the control center to find the person and thank personally. There the lines. I went and asked the women in the control center where I was and who the pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. But to his utmost shock, the women at the control center said that there was no other aeroplane flying that night, and it was only his aeroplane that the women could see on the radar. There, another aeroplane up there in the storm? No. Other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. The pilot was left confused with many unanswered questions in his mind about the pilot who helped him land safely. It remained an unsolved mystery there. So who helped me to arrive there safely without the compass or a radio and without any more fuel in the tanks? Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? So, we can say that the story reflects how one's judgment gets distorted due to fantasizing and how it creates problems. The pilot knew that he ought to go back to Paris. Instead, he took the risk just because he was fantasizing about holidaying with his family, to have that good big English breakfast with his family. He was lucky enough to land safely, but the risk was not worth taking. His decision was clouded by his wish to meet his family. The story also teaches us not to lose hope even in the worst situation. Instead, we should have faith in our own abilities. Self-belief is very important if we want to achieve our dreams. I hope this is going to help you understand the chapter. Thank you.